Good evening there. You're watching QTV Youth Dialogue and I am Jenna Basonko. Thank you so much for staying with us. So today we have a very packed show as we'll be discussing various topics, obviously, that has to do with young people. We will be taking a look at the just concluded National Youth Parliament elections. We will be taking a look at the recent intake at the NYSS, as well as a particular program supported by the UNDP on supporting University of the Gambia graduate secure placements at various public institutions in the country. And finally, University of the Gambia Students' Week is fast approaching and preparations are underway. And the committee will be joining us to give us an update on what University of the Gambia students, who are young people, should expect. But to start with, I am joined by the clerk of the National Youth Parliament, Abdullahi Oba, as well as one of the winners, who happens to be a female, Jabu Sisao, the parliamentarian for Opa Fuladu. Thank you so much for joining us on the program, Amadou as well as Jabu. So I'll start with Jabu. You know, you are a winner. You competed. The National Youth Parliament election, to me, at some point was a presidential elections, because young people who were competing in various constituency took it seriously. They campaigned, you know, they did everything that they were supposed to do, and I love the vibe. And I'm aware that about 23,000 individuals registered to vote. Interesting. How do you feel, Jabu?
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I feel so happy and excited because, as you said, the election was not an easy one. I see the election as just like a replica of the National Assembly election, or even the presidential election. And this election being the first time, even though I am an incumbent member of the National Youth Parliament, but for the past years, the type of election that we did was an easy one. Yeah, it was so easy. So you just saw interest and few people gathered and voted for. Yes, this one was so different. Yeah. So I'm so excited and I'm happy to, after contesting, we were 5 contestants in my constituency. And four male contestants. I was the only female contestant. So I'm so happy that I was able to.
So why do you think the young people voted for you? Why?
Yes. So I believe the young people voted for me because they believed in me, they have trust in me, and they also believe that I have represented them to the best of my abilities for the past 3 years. So that is why they decided to vote for me to continue what I have been doing.
So what have you been doing? Because, you know, the clear understanding here is that, you know, you don't have resources. It's not much at your disposal. You can't really do much. You know, there are restrictions as to what you can do and cannot do. So what were you doing?
Yes. So I was able to, organize constituency consultations. Even though using my own resources, I would finance consultation. I came from one of the biggest constituencies in the country. We have about 135 to 136 communities that is in Upper Fuladu. So bringing everyone together was not easy. So I would go to the wards and, take youth leaders to bring them at one place. So we have engagements whenever we are planning to have a session at the National Youth Parliament. I try to ensure that I bring them forward to discuss some of the issues that they are facing in the constituency, even though I am from the constituency, but I am not from their various communities. So they know those communities better than I do. That is why I've been doing that. And also through the National Youth Parliament, we were able to implement certain projects. About 4 to 5 projects were implemented. And I often facilitated those projects with support from the National Youth Parliament.
Amazing. So let's now, Abdullahi Oba. So there's an Amadou Oba. Okay, let me just put this out. Let me just put this out there. There's an Amadou Oba, very famous Amadou Oba. He's everywhere on the internet. So because of that, we keep repeating Amadou. Abdullahi, thank you so much. And congratulations for an amazing election. It was amazing seeing the IEC, seeing observers and everything. It was amazing. You know, you came here prior to the election. Now the election is over. What is your impression of the entire process?
Thank you very much, Jennifer. So, just like you said, for me, this is just a big milestone that the National Youth Parliament has been.
Yeah.
When we were coming here some times ago, the doubts were a lot. We
Yeah.
were not sure whether we'll be able to pull this through.
Yeah.
But then this is for me a testament of the fact that young people are no longer sitting in their corners,
Yeah.
waiting for everything to be done for them. Despite the fact that the National Youth Parliament orchestrated the entire election, but it is the young people themselves that made it happen.
Yeah.
It was the young people that registered their voters in their various constituencies.
Yeah.
It was those same young people that went around to mobilize these people, provided them with the resources to come to the polling station,
Yeah.
or even convince them to come to the polling station.
Right.
And for me, this is a clear message that we send to the people in authority to remind them that, okay, at this point in time, young people of this country are taking politics seriously,
Yeah.
and their representation is quite very interesting. So for me, that is one thing that I'm really proud of, and I'm really proud of the fact that young people came out, they voted, and they showed that their representation really matters. So for me, that is the highlights.
So it was on the spot counting?
Yeah, it was on the spot counting. So we were using paper balloting.
Okay,
for the first time.
okay.
And interestingly, this thing is something that I really think I need to say.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time we are having paper balloting, we were expecting to have a lot of invalid votes.
Yeah.
But out of all of the votes that are casted, only 42 votes were invalid.
Wow.
So for me, that was amazing.
So it was like a test of
Exactly.
the whole
Yeah.
paper balloting.
And only 24 out of all of the constituencies we had elections, only 42 invalid votes were registered.
Wow.
And countings were done on the spot, except for one constituency where we had some hitches. The counting was not done, and that was in Jara East,
Okay.
where we had some issues. Some people stormed the polling station. Elections are always with that. They came later when polls were already closed and they wanted to vote.
Okay.
So because of that, I think the officer on the ground could not carry on with the counting and had to transport the ballot. But today
So
we were
this
able,
was taken seriously?
It was
Why
taken
ndawi rew mi
seriously.
mom ndawi rew mi caaxaana tu leen de.
Ah, no. Fu mu nekk
ndawi
nii
rew mi
kay.
caaxaana tuñ
Kay
na.
fu mu nekk nii kay.
Kaddu bi leer na.
Bu leer sax.
Wow, kaddu bi leer na. This is good. This is amazing. And the fact ne contestants is seen bopa, they're the ones that actually even took it to the next level.
Oh yes.
Wow,
They did really amazing. I was going to go to some polling stations and see the queue. Sometimes
It was long.
you will not even have the time to have breakfast.
Wow.
Because they will be on the queue a whole lot of people,
This
and
is
you will
amazing.
continue to vote. At some point, the queue will be, you will have a lesser people on the queue. All of a sudden, I guess Ben Van Mutahaw Fale, all of the young people
Wow.
came. People in the provinces, particularly for me,
Yeah.
they did amazing because some people transported their voters from the combos all the way to the provinces.
that's hard.
Yeah, purely to just come and vote for them.
Wow,
And in
that's
fact,
amazing.
the voter turnout was way larger
Than
in the
you-
provincial Gambia
than
than
in
it
the
is
combo.
in the KMs and in
That
the
is
West
amazing.
Coast.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. And then obviously we don't have the statistics from the IEC when it comes to young people, the whole voter apathy situation. But generally, as journalists, when we go to polling stations to interview people, often we will see Magati, lañ fa dee gëna gis Maggie. You know, moo tax ñu war a gën a dëgëral this issue of statistics to ensure that this statistics ñu segregate ko pour ñu mën a xam ñun as a young people fan lañ toolu. Because sometimes voter apathy among young people, assumption la, but over the years it's been a conversation ne lu yaga am la. So you know the fact ne use nañ opportunity bi ni pour génna pour def ko is a good thing. But Jabu, you understand that you do not have powers, you cannot bite, you are not the main National Assembly, you're just a mirror, you know, to ensure young people in decision-making processes and all that. And often after your sittings, you will come up with position papers and all of that, and it's not usually implemented. How does that make you feel?
It's something that is worrisome, like because living our various constituencies, especially some of us coming from the provincial Gambia, to come all the way from there to have these sit-ins, debate at the parliament, and at the end of the day, those position papers are not implemented. It's something that I think the government should really look into. Yeah, because it's not easy. So they should really help in implementing those position papers. For the past 3 years, we've been bringing resolutions. Even though there was this particular debate that we had, that is surrounding the issue of TVET centers, to decentralize the issue of TVET centers across all the constituencies or regions in the country. After our debate in 2023 at the parliament, we've seen a dispatch, a press release said, and it stated that they're going to decentralize TVET centers.
And which is happening now.
We were so happy. Even I cannot confirm whether they've actually did it or they've actually started it, but that is something
there is a decentralization of TVET institutions.
Yes. So we want it to continue with other discussions that we have. We want the government and the National Assembly to take our position paper seriously and to know that we are representing the young voices. And the young people are the future of today, not even the future of tomorrow, of tomorrow. So yes.
Yeah, so Amadou Oba, gis nañ ne aduna bi fim tollu ni there's a funding fatigue. Abdoulaye, the fatigue more when it comes to funding. Gis nañ Donald Trump, when it comes to USAID, stop na funding. Te one way or the other, xam naa ne affect na leen, you know. So yen development partners yi suñ yëngatuut, yen doo leen am sitting. Election kirti karta bu ñoo def nii yëpp du amati njëriñ. So where fan ngeen stand? Are you trying to look at ways to gather funds locally, you know, using other initiatives to ensure ne momentum is kept alive? Because international community bi suñ yëngatuut yen dara du xew.
Definitely.
Which is very unfortunate.
Quite very unfortunate, and it's important that you touch that point.
Wow.
Because the issue of funding and challenges with regards to accessing funds to be able to implement activities for young people or activities of the National Youth Parliament in relation to the interests of young people is something that is quite very important.
Yeah.
We've been trying different avenues to be able to see how do we resource mobilize internally, but that's a challenge. When you look at the setting in the Gambia, when you look at how things are operated in the Gambia, usually you have very few local donors that are willing to support massive programs of that nature. Most of the times, so many of them are so much interested in spending in what source visibility and issues that are related to that. However, we are optimistic that changes can happen because we've started knocking those. I realized that sometimes last year when we wanted to do the National Youth Award, we were able to have support from GNPC, for instance. We were able to have support from some of the GSM operators, and they were willing to support to some extent. So these are some of the things that we are hoping to leverage on, but also other things that are sometimes considered for the National Youth Parliament is joining to become an act of parliament. When we become an act of parliament, then government is going to be able to support some of the processes that we are doing, because that way we are going to be catered for in the national budget. So in order for us to become an act of parliament is just we have to be mentioned in an act of parliament by the national assembly. And when that is done,
why ndax gis ngeen will be? Have you seen the will?
Oh no, the National Assembly is more than willing to do that. For the past years, we've already discussed. We've discussed with them on several occasions, and time without numbers, they will tell me. For instance, you should be able to become an act of parliament because national youth parliaments all over the world are usually supported by their central government. But the National Youth Parliament held the position. This is something that I inherited, that I found there, and this is based on the structures and the policies of the National Youth Parliament. That it was it was a civil society organization. So for its impartiality, it wanted to ensure that it is independent from taking funds from government, because usually people have the conviction that when you take funds from government, you likely are pocketed by government. You likely listen to government.
Well, wow, that they am in some instances. Why the organization? For example, the NHRC, the Human Rights Commission.
And many other.
Wow, Human Rights Commission bank for different entities, and you know, government doing what I'm gonna intervene. You know,
those are options. But
another thing is, government do wanna intervene because I'm representing political parties.
They're non-partisan.
Are they? You never know. I don't know. I can't. Okay, let me take that back. I can't speak for them.
But
I can't speak for them.
That's still fine.
That's still fine because there's some sort of, foo bokka
obviously
man moom bokkuma fen man ñëpp bokka nañ ba mu des
no in fact
waaw man moom yow bokka nga am na foo bokka
kan man no man am the clerk of the
man
National
bokkuma
Youth
fen
Party.
man man waaw xaaral ma leeral ko fii nag waaw bokkuma fen man am na fuñ foog ne nag foofu laa bokka
no bad
foog nañ ne
no waaye
am na fu ma bokka waaye bokkuma fen nag yàlla xam na
loolu garaawut ba pare war ngaa mën a bokka fen sax
déedéet waaye fii fooy bokkee dëkk bu métti bi yéen tamit
but then it's good you touch that because
you vote soo demee si ballot box bi yow di nga vote waaye obviously ñun waruñoo mën a wone dara you know at the end of the day
in fact even ñun sax we have some few queries here and there
ne dafa am foo leen
suñ election bi no not ñun sax but xam nga we made it very clear that when you contest for the National Youth Parliament it is supposed to be entirely non-petition but there are incidences where individual candidates have reached out to us saying a particular party A and party B and party C are the ones that are bringing vehicle for their young people for the candidate X and stuff like that. So we could not have a lot of control over that.
Politique bi daal dafa mel ni fu nekk la nekk. Because at the end of the day, young people yooyu la ñoo use si various constituencies yi pour ñu dem wax nit ñi.
Obviously.
Loo si mun lu si waaye mun. So politics dafa bokkal si life and we must accept that politics is part of life ñu dunda ko you know if society bi suñ nangoo ku nekk nga mun a am sa opinion which is a very big challenge fii si dëkk buñ nekk ni you know it's a challenge
for me that eventually generally all together I am the most fulfilled person at this point in time. Because manema fogne come like at this point in time, even if I should leave the National Youth Parliament, this is a legacy that that speaks for itself.
Exactly.
The fact that we've established a direct election allowing young people, and most interestingly, about 70 to 60% of the people that voted in this election are first-time voters.
Mashallah.
So we're giving them the impression to understand what elections are going to be like and what they expect to do in the near future when they vote in national elections. So for me, that is the win for it.
That is fulfilling. That is fulfilling. So finally, Jabu, what are your final words? Now you are the winner, and you know it gives you that sense of responsibility. But I think, Abdullah, your goal is to continue to remind them that they don't have to also strain themselves.
Sure.
Like Jabu mentioned, she's used personal funds for things. It's not a bad thing if you have it, but you know we have to keep on stressing that. And if you have funds from elsewhere, for example, political parties, ken terewulen ko. Bude da ngeen feel ne su ñooñu ngeen bokk at the end of the day. But you also have your laws yi ngeen di toppa.
Sure.
Ngeen toppa loolu noonu. So it depends. Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, that's right.
Are you part of any? Is there any political party you like right now?
Not really.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'm ben political party Gambia bo muna joxoñ nga ne next 2026 yeah waxu ma ne okay nekkut booy votal waaye boo xaw a like tuuti waxa ñun ñëpp we can talk, it's okay.
Yeah, I know. So I am a youth parliamentarian and we are known partisan at the National Youth Parliament.
Waaye am na boo ñoo xam ne seen principles si appreciate nga ko.
No, loolu mënuma kaa wax. I am non-partisan. Yeah, I am non-partisan.
Wow, why already decide nga koy votal for 2020? You don't have to tell me. Have you already decided who you're voting for in 2026?
Not yet. So I want to wait for them to come out and maybe I read their policies and then, you don't just vote for, political parties or individuals without knowing what they would bring on the table. Yeah, so that's what I want to know first before deciding on who to vote for.
Okay, so do you want change?
I really want change. I have the passion for change. That is why I joined the National Youth Parliament.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the 2024 draft constitution has been rejected.
Yes.
And you're looking for change. They could not have a consensus.
Yes.
As a young person in the Gambia, how did that make you feel, the fact that a consensus could not have been reached for the 2024 draft?
I think that issue, it has some atom of politics in it.
Okay, obviously.
Yeah, because the 2020 draft was also rejected.
Yes.
And we all know the reason that was rejected. The same with 2024.
Yeah.
Even during our sit-ins last year, we discussed about the 2024 draft, about some of the clauses that were removed there that should be inserted. Example is the integrity and the accountability.
Yeah.
Yes, that aspect, we even debated on it at the National Assembly. So,
so why do you want change? Is there something going on in the Gambia that you don't like?
Yes. There are so many things going on in the Gambia that really need to change. And one of those things is young people. Many young people are unemployed.
Okay.
And that is something that we need to look into.
But the president of the Gambia said he will provide 150,000 jobs. That is what the president said.
Okay, so the president said that. But those
and we have NYSS here who are,
Yeah, that is something that the president said, but we haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
So we don't just want to hear words. We want to see action. We want the president not to only say he will do this, but we want him to implement what he said. Yeah.
But he's been given a thumbs up for his work on infrastructural development. Gisuloo tali.
Yeah. Tali dañ nice. Dañ baax tamit mashallah.
Tali dafa doxal dikka de.
Waay tali rek.
Waay man sa harama am fii. Ay waay. Ablay. Amadou. Ablay harama am fii. Parce que li may bañ mooy ma ewu ëllëg si suba. Ñu ne ma tay mu nga feli. Tay mu ngi gré.
I'm enjoying the sisterhood.
Dama bañ xam nga lu ma bañ jabu. Xam nga man li ma gëm. Baro su président bi. Dëkk bu nekk la. If there's thumbs up fuñ ko war a joxe. nañ joxe thumbs up bi. If there's criticism fan lañ ko war a joxe. Let's give the criticism. Come you want change. It's a free world. You know, it's somebody else wants to maintain him because of this and this and this and this. It's not a bad thing. Foog ñu nangulante. Xam nga man tey nangul naa la ne da nga bëgg a change. And we have constructive conversations as young people. Gambia.
So for Nyunsa, I mean, what our contribution wishes to be for the 2026 election. Now that we are done with the National Youth Parliamentary elections, what we envision to launch from the Secretariat is dinañ def a campaign, a youth manifesto campaign. So we are going to tour around the country to develop a youth manifesto. And that youth manifesto will contain all of the aspirations of the young people for the next election. What do they want to see reflected in political party manifestos? And we'll share this with political parties and see who and how many of them are reflective of the interests of the young people. And that way it can help young people and young voters decide.
Man da lima gom moy young person bu nekk am nga sa carte ay wax.
Yeah, obviously.
Buñ usé suñ carte ñun ñoy 60% of the Gambian population. Ku ñu dugalut bokalut fu ñu wara bokk ñu romb ko fi nekk bu naari. Man loolu la fokk man. Why carte bi duñ ko use jigéen yi tamit carte bi usuñ ko. We have this. Ñun ñoko mom. Fum la neex so duggé fofu nga ko dugal. Te bakken tam jaama la buga. So ku nekk rek seetal fu sa jaama nekk.
So I think that is
ku nekk fu sa jaama nekk. Votalal koku. Jaama yépp nak.
So I think that is why the National Youth Parliament often goes for voter education.
Exactly.
That is before election.
Wow.
Yeah.
But thank you so much to the National Youth Parliament. Youth Dialogue, Mom. We are, I would say we're a strong partner. You know, since 2018. You know, timing. Because we believe young people dañ leen wara encourage ñu am that mindset of taking up leadership. Because tey soo génnee si biti nga waxa comme man for example last time am na ku ma doon waxal mu ne ma jeena ba dama bugga maybe xëj na soo demee ba bàyyi journalism nga taxaw nekk parliamentarian Gambia pour fii pour ñoomi ma ne ko man su ma buggee taxaw dama ragal ma ne ko bi xam nga lu sama ragal su ma buggee taxaw pour nekk parliamentarian dañoo dem suuli suma mbooti ki wax noo juddoo foo yaroo foo jaar
politique nag loolu la àndal
waaye waruta àndaa loolu
ay non ñun suñ fii loolu
suñ politique loolu la àndal moo tax ndaw yi di daw suñ politique bi nañ ko teg si yoon bu leer na leer
jigéen ñi
ñu teg ko in loo xam ne dafa constructive soo ñëwee nga ne ma jeena ba dafa saaca baaxut boobu waruma taxaw nekk parliamentarian waaye jeena ba dafa whatever dafa dog ka waram bi o dafa lii o dafa lele that's not what we need as a country pour ñu able to move. Why the fact that you use National Youth Parliament pour groom guy, by the time you make, they will be ready.
Definitely.
I'm sure they will be ready.
Definitely.
So we will just go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the NYSS. Recently, you've seen the recent intake, which was attended by the Minister for Youth and Sports, Bakari Baji. And aside from that, last year, they have launched a specific placement opportunity for University of the Gambia graduates. And remember, like I said, the President of the Gambia said he will be providing 150,000 jobs for Gambian youth. And they will also help us assess how the placement from last year in public institutions has directly contributed to the provision of the 150,000 jobs in the Gambia. We will be right back.
We innovate, others follow, QCell, so my data's blast, soon you boss, soon you month, everything is class. We innovate, others follow, can you top a dinga, QCell, soon you boss, you fit in the best. data splash. Take it internet, the one you cost for soup. Soma data splash, yeah. Q-Shell bond, but cheaper than free. Equally, price all for never. 300 MB, $15. 1.5 GB, $40. 4 GB, $120. 10 GB, $190. Usually bundle jungle ling any angana ko andro no YouTube. TikTok sumadu jati Instagram WhatsApp do Facebook. Namul sunyumon sunyu soma data splash. Butanga dete, butanga dete, butanga dete. Dial *303# and choose option 7 to activate your QCell summer data splash. Butanga dete.
Introducing the all-new QCell app, your one-stop shop to all our amazing services. Check your balance in seconds. Pay your internet plans with a simple tap. Top up credit and buy data bundles effortlessly, all in one. But wait, there's more. With the new QCell app, you can stream QTV and QRadio live. Anytime, anywhere. Chat with our smart chatbot, available 24/7 to assist you. Explore and activate all our services, all in one place. Don't miss out. Download the QCell app now on the Google Play Store or Apple App Store and take control of your QCell experience today. For more information, call 111. QCell, Sunyabus.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. QCell mooy suñu boss. Go, ebe dawa full network suda tili. QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata. QCell. Most reliable network dumala keta wati. QCell. Wa quality man nyon soda.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV Youth Dialogue, and I am Jenna Basonko. So like I said before we went for the break, we're now shifting our attention to the NYSS and their work, and recently we've seen their recent intake as well as the placement opportunities that they're providing for University of the Gambia graduates. So I'm joined here by a beneficiary of that particular program, Ismaila Low, as well as Ibrahima M. Toure, who's the communications assistant at the NYSS. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me.
Thank you.
Yes, so Ismaila, to start with, where you were part of the individuals who were lucky to be part of the placement opportunities. Where were you placed?
All right, thank you very much, Jennifer. I am Ismaila. I live in Kunkuja. I was posted to National Youth Council for a period of 1 year. And then from there, I moved to the National Youth Parliament.
So how was your placement opportunity? How did you live it?
Well, I think it was a great opportunity for me because going through the program, waking up early morning, at early as 5 o'clock, led by the police officers and the Army Force, and then we learn a lot of things, ethics and professionalism. In fact, we understand that the NYSS not only providing job, but also to instill discipline in us. I think after the training, 2 weeks training, we were posted to National Youth Council, where I was there for almost 1 year, and then later I learned a lot of things there, and there are a lot of things that I was exposed to. I get to understand how administration works, and then basically how do we connect theories and practical together. So basically, it was an opportunity for me and for the cohort, that is the National Youth Service Scheme, my people that are down there also. Some of them, I can say almost 90% of them or 80% of them have gained employment.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and currently I'm also employed by the National Youth Parliament. We were the one that currently...
So from there, you got the employment.
Yes.
Can you point it at the program? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, it's through the program, because when I was posted to National Youth Council, I was there for almost 1 year, some months. Later, when I saw the announcement that National Youth Parliament wanted a program officer, well, I was working under the programs department through the communication. So when I give a shot, and
so why didn't National Youth Council retain you?
Well, that is a question that I think they
so
need
that
to
is
answer.
where you know, Ibrahima, you come in. You know, President Adama Barrow, like I said, talked about coming up with 150,000 jobs, and then this is part of the initiatives that is supposed to fuel that. You understand? So I know it's a placement. It does not mean you have to be employed, but generally, part of the objectives is that they can also use this to secure permanent employment. You know, how are the negotiations around that?
Thank you, and thank you for having us around. What we do as at the National Youth Service Scheme is, after the orientation, when we deploy them to different institutions, and these institutions has to do with both private and public.
Yeah.
Now, what happens is the aim is, the objective is to be absorbed by the institution, because before we take you to the institution, we will look into your field of studies, and also that will determine where we will take you. Then after doing that, as I said, the objective is for the institution to absorb you.
Yeah.
And in instances whereby the institution does not, we also look at ways, how do you get an employment from somewhere else through the connection you're able to make, through the networking you're able to make. As he said, the exposure that the National Youth Council provided him with, that's one of the reasons why he eventually got the job when at the National Youth Parliament. So we look at how do we balance the two, either the institution absorb you or through the connections.
So what is the statistics of individuals who were absorbed
through
after the 1 year?
So we had 100 graduates from the University of the Gambia, and then these 100 graduates, after when we deployed them to different institutions, and those that got employment is 85%. And you have 10% of those that leave the country, some went for masters and some for other reasons. And we have 5% actually that did not get.
So you're telling me 80% of the 100, that's 80 people?
Yes. 85% of, that's 85
people. Hamga 100 nidla. So si 100 nid bi ñom 85.
Ñom 85 ñoo secure employment.
Si fuñ leen either fuñ leen place or indirectly?
Indirectly, yes. And then 10 of those, 10%, that's 10 among the numbers we have, left the country. Some of them went for masters and some for other reasons. And you have 5%, which is 5 individuals on our radar from that particular event that did not have employment as of now.
So yang ma wane 100 bobu non 85 nit
already secured employment, yes.
And this, da ngeen def survey bi mu leer?
Yes, we did, because what we do is we have M&E, monitoring and evaluation officer? that we put in place. So whereby they follow these people. It's not just that we orient them and put them into institutions. What we do is, even after putting you into institutions, we follow you to actually follow your, because the program will not have will not make difference without knowing what we are doing, how far has it gone, or how far is it going. So in order to establish that, we will have to follow these people, and that's exactly what we did. And then we have 85 people already employed directly or indirectly, and we have 10%, that's 10 people that left the country, and we have 5 that did not get the job yet.
Okay, that's honestly 85 people. That's a really, really good number. To be honest, I was not expecting that, and I think this should be popularized. You know, people should be aware, and you know, so that there will be more confidence in the system. You know, this should be known. 85 individuals from the 100 is actually not a bad number at the end of the day. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we hope that the other 100, you know, will also be able to secure employment at a certain percentage. So, alhamdulillah, this is a gradual process. Eventually, we will get there. But 250 is a lot. So, NYSS, how are you contributing to this? Apart from the job placements, the intakes, using your intakes, you know, because the discipline and everything that you're trying to inculcate has to do with young people staying in their jobs as well.
So what happened is in NYSS, we understand that NYSS come into being as an act of parliament back then in 1996. And the core mandate of NYSS is not just to place the young people in institutions for internships, or we're not only looking at employment seekers or we're also looking at how do we have young people that does not only look for employment, but they also create jobs. And in our core values, it's there that we have to come up with young people, or we have to build young people to have a sense of nationalism, patriotism, voluntarism, and most importantly, discipline. And how do we do this is, and of course we cannot do that without empowering young people. So how do we do that is we have 3 areas we focused at. And we have, the first one is the normal badge, which we do yearly. That's from the individuals that are between grade 9 to 12. So these individuals, what we do with them, we bring them on board, orient them for 3 weeks, whereby they go through intensive trainings, because they're going into skill sectors. And then from there, then they do their swearing-in ceremony. Then we take them to different places, GTTI, Inside Trading, or Gainjor, etc. The people we have, the institutions we have partnerships with. And we also have another badge, that is the ATP, which we had their swearing ceremony on Saturday. So that's every year we take in 150 people, 50 young people. That's from grade 9 down, and also those that did not go through the conventional way of education. So let's say those that go through Dara and Arabic schools.
That's amazing, the madrasas.
So we also bring them on board, orient them, and then make their swearing-in ceremonies. Then from there, we take them to different craftsmen. So we give them, we pay the craftsmen.
Apprentice.
Yes, we do the craft. We pay the craftsmen, and also we give them stipends every month, so that they will stay in the apprenticeship.
So finally, what tips will you give to the next batch of placement? They're applying now. You know, they're applying, they're yet to do the selection to select the 100 that will be dispatched. But what tips will you give them once, you know, they get in?
Yeah, well, I think one thing is about discipline, I would say. Because just yesterday, I was talking to somebody who is trying to apply. I'm trying to coach to see how best they can put you through. And then some people that wanted to know about NYSS graduate scheme program, I also highlight some of the key things that they need to put in place. During the process, application process, there are things that you need to fill in. Particularly, you know, if you are a recent graduate, your attestation or your transcript, you need to upload those things. And any guidance that they need from the outside, I do support them, because I'm part of the technical working committee, because I was a former graduate in that program, and then later I was invited as part of the technical committee. I can also advise them some of the challenges that we faced during our time, because I was the liaison officer, I will say, between them and the administration, because I had to communicate almost frequently, because any information that they get, like when it comes to stipend, Ibrahim made mention of stipend, which was something, a challenge that I think we have to explain those things. Maybe the upcoming one
what was the issue?
Sometimes we find it so much difficult, maybe delay in payment of the stipend. So they have to send me messages, I try to get to the respective authority, that is to national NYSS.
So NYSS has to improve on that.
They have to do maybe those things need to be put in place. So that was major thing, because we understand some people were posted to institutions where they don't give them anything. They depend largely on the stipend. And if the stipend is delayed, they might find it difficult to get to work.
Themselves.
So those were a problem. Thank God we have some institutes that were so much also helpful that they were paying our interns for extra money. They were giving them extra money and then giving them breakfast. I think the positive side is more than the negative side. And like Ibrahim was saying, almost, let's say, 85% of the people have now been employed, not even in the institution that they are,
but indirectly somewhere else.
Like my case, I was posted to the National Youth Council, but I was not employed in National Youth Council, but I was posted as employed. With the National Youth Parliament. I think we have similar cases that happen.
So due to time constraints, we will have to draw the curtains here. But I will definitely endeavor to pay a visit to the NYSS, you know, just to have an activity there, or just do something exciting, because I think you guys are gradually trying. But it's Gambia. I was expecting the delay. I was just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. We have these things all the time, and it's not just with the NYSS. Government institutions generally need to improve when it comes to, you know, the swift payment of people's services or stipend or whatever. often people will say, oh, government, I think that should change. Just today on the news, the president was talking to the cabinet ministers on their quarterly retreat about renewing their commitment and serving the Gambian people properly. It's very important. So yes, unfortunately, we do not have time, but we will just draw the curtains here, and then we'll be joined by the University of the Gambia Students' Union week is coming, and we'll be joined by the Students' Union executive members to talk to us about what University of the Gambia students should expect. We'll be right back.
Call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Q Money is back again with an offer of a lifetime. You can now buy Sunyu Bundle data packages directly from your Q Money wallet for half the price. Get all Sunyu Bundle packages from 20 megabytes to 20 gigabytes and enjoy the biggest internet data discount in the market. Just dial *323# now, choose option 4 and start buying your favorite Sunyu Bundle package half the price only with Q Money. Pay less and stay connected with the most reliable internet service in the Gambia. For more information, call 133 Q Money. Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
We innovate, others follow. QCell, Soma Data Plus, Sunyu Boss, Sunyu Month, everything is class. We innovate, others follow. Kunyu Tapa Dinga, Fakastalu. QCell, Sunyu Boss, you fit in the best. Highly discounted, what do you bet? Soma Data Plus, take it internet, the one you cost for Soma Data Plus, QCell Bond, but cheaper than free. Eco price all for never. 300 MB, $15, 1.5 GB, $40, 4 GB, $120, 10 GB, $190. QCell bundle jungle ling any angana ko andro no YouTube. TikTok Soma Data Instagram WhatsApp. Namul, Sunyumon, Sunyu Soma, Data Splash. Butanga Dete, Butanga Dete, Butanga Dete. Dial *303# and choose option 7 to activate your QCell Soma Data Splash. Butanga Dete.
Step into elegance with the Q City Banqueting Tent for your weddings, graduations, birthdays, award ceremonies, corporate staff events, and more. Every moment, a masterpiece. Fully air-conditioned, with stage, tables, and chairs included. Seating for up to 800 guests, plus a dance floor. Experience seamless events. We provide it all, so you can focus on what matters, celebrating. Elevate your events with the Q City Banqueting Tent. For details, call 33-724-89. Q City Banqueting Tent, where every occasion becomes extraordinary. Browse Bitus. QCell brings your promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse Bitus promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. So to wrap the entire program up, now we're focusing on the University of the Gambia Students' Week, and we're joined by the committee members. We have Diba, Miss Diba. We also have Mr. Dabo here, who are all part of the committee, and they will be taking us through what the Students' Week is going to be all about and what students should expect. There's always mixed reactions whenever a topic of Student Week emerges, because to many, it's a good thing. To some, is a complete waste of time. It's not important. So they're here to tell us why Students Week is important and why University of the Gambia students should embrace it. To start with, Mr. Dabo.
Thank you very much. As introduced, I'm Ibrahima Dabo, the Vice Chairperson of the Students Week 2025. And this year's Students Week is under theme having UTG students in the front line for sustainable development.
Right.
And during the Students Week, basically the Students Week is a retreat for the students, because we think we need to get out of the classrooms, the campuses, to go and have a free time where we can relax our minds and enjoy, like this year, the summer. But it's also a very impactful week.
How impactful is it?
Very impactful for the students and the community that we go to. This year, Tendaba, our activities are not just restricted in Tendaba or in the camp. We will go as far as Soma for community outreaches. And also, as part of the week, we have activities lined up, which are going to be engaging for the students in the camp. And these range from entrepreneurship day, pitching competition, an innovation day, which is a new initiative that we are bringing in. Health Day. She's the Gender and Health Minister. She will buttress more on that. We also have a community outreach where we are going to talk to people about data protection, illegal or irregular migration, which affects our society so much.
Yeah. So Miss Dibba, why do you think some people believe the Students' Week is a complete waste of time? It is not necessary. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you think so? What brought about the misconceptions, if they are?
Yeah. Again, I'm Bintu Dibba, Gender and Health Minister and part of the organizing committee. So I feel like the people that have this misconception about the Students' Week, they have never attended the Students' Week to really experience things about it. That is why. So if you look at the Student Week, it is the most anticipated event of the union, and where we gather a lot of students from various schools of the university. So they get to interact, to know more about their activities and how impactful their field of studies are, and they also reach out to communities. So I feel like they don't actually have the experience of the Students' Week. That is why, and probably the bad information they have been getting from people, that is why they think it is not very impactful.
That's the only reason?
Yeah, probably.
Probably? You're sure or probably?
Yes, so possibly the things that they heard about the Students' Week.
Okay, not they've attended. But I've heard people who've attended actually, have mixed reactions about it as well.
Oh, possibly they don't fully participate in our activities. That is why.
But Mr. Dabo, what is going to make this Students' Week different?
So Students'
For
Week,
me, I think it's about the difference here.
Yes. We are anticipating to have this as the most successful Students' Weeks ever. To add on to what she was saying, the misconception, it's about what participants give out, because people who have not been there or who have never gone there, you follow statuses or social media posts from participants. But the council or the committee actually has activities lined up, and all of these activities are put on socials. So it's about following the right channel or the right people to get the right information. Like I said, I started with having so much fun. And this goes with the activities that we have. I listed a lot of activities here, and I don't think anyone who is keenly listening would say those are a waste of time. We are impacting lives of students. Let's say, for example, the pitching competition, where I've been to the Students' Week 5 times. This will be my 6th time. We've always had a pitching competition, and students or participants who come out as winners would be given prizes, cash prizes, so they could boost their businesses. And this year too, we are having an Innovation Day. Innovation Day, what it entails is we are going to identify problems, and students would propose solutions to these problems.
I like that.
We have students in the ICT. they build apps, but they don't have any platform to showcase what they have. School of Engineering, they have plans that they want to put out, but they don't have the right channels to put those out. So we are giving them a platform. So no one would say those are a waste of time.
Okay.
But also you cannot gather people and not give them fun.
Yeah.
So it's the
it
fun
needs to be
part
balanced.
that goes
out on social media, and then
and
a
people have
conclusion
this
is reached.
misconception.
Okay. So Mrs. Diba, what else should we look forward to?
Yeah, so I think I'll talk about the Health Day and also the community outreach that we're planning. So it's very important as students of the University of the Gambia and as young women learning to give back to the community. And that is why during the community outreach, we want to reach out to communities to test them and screen them of the NCDs. As we all know, it is a problem that a lot of people are facing, especially the elderly. So we want to reach out to SOMA and ensure that people are tested of these things, and also not just that tested, but are also given medications as well. And we have partners to partner with the SOMA Health Center to make this mobilization easier. And we also want to impact the students as well, because if you look at sexual and reproductive health, is a problem that faced by young people. We want to ensure they have this knowledge of sexual and reproductive health. That is why we want to talk about them on symposiums, gather them and have this discussion with them.
Yeah, that is amazing. So when is this?
So it's from 27th of July to 5th of August.
Okay.
So I mentioned the theme that we have, that, but also we have sub-themes.
Okay.
And these are, it cuts across all or most of the sectors or realities that we have in the country. Let's say women in governance, we have that as a sub-theme. We have data protection as a sub-theme. We have reproductive health as a sub-theme. So it's a range of issues that we've identified that align with the National Development Plan and the SDG goals, to put it out to the public that the university students, we say, are the future. So we are not relaxing to it for the future. We are trying to impact the present. That is the Students' Week.
Yeah, so time is up, but good luck for a very successful Students' Week. Have a lot of fun and you know, get educated, impact the community as well. You know, we like you said, we have to, you know, strike a balance. Yeah,
exactly.
So for you strike a balance.
We have to.
We have to. So from the 27th
to the 5th of August.
To the 5th of August. Okay, University of the Gambia students, you go grab a form or pay. I don't know the modalities.
Yes, tickets are sold already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looking forward to it.
Inshallah.
Hopefully we will stop by, inshallah.
Sure.
So that is all we have time for on the program today. Thank you so much for joining us. QTV News is next. Do stay tuned.